when ADV announced they got the license for it, and they went bankrupt, you were going to be playing Viral. Love that character. But what was it like going through when ADV went bankrupt and a lot of other anime companies like Bandai Entertainment stopped releasing animes, Funimation and Viz Media kind of just became more of a monopoly on?
It was kind of worrying because, here we've been doing this for so long, and suddenly it seemed like, you know what I mean? It seemed like things were going downhill. And I'll be honest with you, you guys know why a lot of that happened, don't you? Because of all the illegal downloading. These companies weren't able to make money off of their products because people were stealing it. They were downloading it for free. And, somebody in Kentucky is like, woohoo, I just saved $15. Well, multiply that kid by 1 million people, and suddenly these companies can't stay in business anymore. So I was really, really upset when ADV went under because I wasn't going to play Vero. I was playing Vero. We had already recorded like 10 or 12 episodes of Gurren Lagann when the ADV went under. And there was another show that we were working on that I loved so much. Sergeant Frog. Oh my gosh, I was playing Keroro. I was playing Sergeant Frog. We had probably recorded like 20 episodes. I bought all these toys, and we had them all over the studio, and I was so in love with Sergeant Frog. And then when ADV went under, they lost that license too, and Funimation picked it up and just recast it completely from scratch. So I always tease Abercorn because I'm like, damn you, Sergeant Frog. Because he does a great job, but I mean, I was, and occasionally what's funny is that somebody will come to a convention in an autograph session and give me a Keroro to sign, or a Sergeant Frog something to sign, and I loved him a lot. I was really sad. So yeah, it was really hard to see that company go under. I started with ADV, and did a lot of shows for them, and they grew and grew and grew, and then suddenly, boom. And we're no more. They have restructured. They've reformed a new company now. I think it's called Sentai Filmworks. So yeah, they're doing some new work now, but yeah, that was really rough. And you have a second.
Could you do your voice of Viral? Just like
My Viral, you know what? My Viral was actually almost a little bit kind of like Gollum. What would Viral say? Give me something. It's been so long. What would he say? You filthy monkey? You dirty ape? What? You filthy naked ape. Wow, it's getting worse all the time. It's been a long time. But I want to, let's see. What was it? You filthy naked ape? Is that it? You filthy naked ape. I just was, it was much more that kind of. Because the regular guy, the original Viral, he was just really this kind of blah, blah, blah. So we just wanted to make him a little more creepy. So, hi, thank you, sir. Thanks. Yes, my dear.
Okay, I want to know if you were married, and if you are, do you believe in polygamy?
Father Cornello, help me. What should I do, Father? Follow your heart, my son. I am not married, but I am engaged to a lovely girl. How many of you have seen Star Trek Continues? Remember? You said you've seen it? She's the lovely red-haired girl that plays Dr. McKenna in Star Trek. Her name is Michelle, and she's amazing. Thank you. Do I believe in polygamy? That's what I've heard. Do you live in southern Utah? How ironic. Oh, thank you. This guy back here is like, gay marriage is legal now too. When I get back home, I've got some explaining to do, I think.
Hi, are you gonna do a second season of Our My House?
Girl, I want to tell you something. I would move heaven and earth to do more Oran High School. Unfortunately, I have no power. You guys, I love that show so much. Oh my God. It's unnatural how much I love Tamaki. And you know, the manga continues. So, and it's really great. Like, they go to college. I think, how did he gets accepted to Harvard? And Tamaki doesn't want the host club broken up. So he makes them all move to Harvard. That's awesome. I would do that. I would love there to be more. In fact, I've said at the last several Q&A sessions I've done, if I had $1 million, I would literally fund the making of another season of Oran personally. If I had it, I'd do it. Somebody even said, why don't you launch a Kickstarter? I don't know. I don't know if that would be, I don't know. That's probably not the best idea. There they are. You guys, they told me they were going to be cosplaying today, and you guys look amazing. Oh my gosh. OMG. So yes, I would love there to be more Oran. And by the way, everybody that's involved in Oran wants there to be more. I would love to see that happen. Yes?
Hi, first I just want to say you're my first panel and this is my first convention and I love you so much.
Really? Yeah, we'll get a picture, baby.
We just met.
No, don't cry. Don't cry, because you'll make me cry too.
She already made new friends.
Did you already make some new friends?
Yes.
And you're Marissa, right?
Yes!
You want to make about 500 new friends? Everybody say hi to Marissa.
Hi,
I'm so glad you're here. It's your first convention. Do your parents know? Your dad's here?
Dad's actually volunteering.
Oh, I love it. Well, you tell your dad, here, give me that tear. You tell your dad that I think he's awesome. Because I love when parents come to shows with their kids and kind of enjoy the things that their kids enjoy. And you look wonderful, Marissa. Am I going to see you later? We'll get pictures later, okay? Yes, you may. What's your question?
I want to know, do you like ever get so into character, like do you just turn into your character out in public?
Do I ever? No. No, I don't know. I do get into the characters. I do that. Can I tell you a funny story? Long ago, for ADV, actually, I was doing a show called Princess Nine. Anyone ever heard of Princess Nine? It's a wonderful show about a girls' baseball team. And I was the main guy in the show, and he was the captain of the boys' baseball team. And he was in love with the girl who was the pitcher on the girls' baseball team. I loved that show so much, Marissa. You know what I did? I went to a sporting goods store, and I had them custom make me a baseball jersey like the one my character wore in the show. I even with the kanji on the front. Kisaragi High School, and it said, my character's name was Hiroki Takasugi, and on the back it said Takasugi and his number. And every time I went to record that show, I would wear that baseball jersey. What a nerd am I? So, while I don't exactly, we are all nerds. The question is, will we admit it or not? What?
No shame in admitting.
Exactly. So yeah, I've never really, turned into them in public, but I do really love getting into the characters in the studio when I'm recording. I'll see you later, Marissa. We're gonna get a good picture together.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, you evil girl. She said, can you tell us the story of your USS Enterprise birthday cake? It's not a good story, y'all. Why would you? Exactly, it's on YouTube. Why do I have to tell it? Okay, let me just tell you. When I was, how old? Maybe 14? I was about 14, it was my birthday. And my dad's wife, my stepmother, had a cake made for me. And it was an Enterprise cake. Star Trek, because that was all I ever cared about at the time, was Star Trek. So this cake had this really rich blue icing on it. Like this blue icing, right? But it got better. When you cut into the cake was blue too. It was blue on blue on blue, and it was intense blue, like that. It was so good. And this was before they could screen photos onto cakes. We're talking a long time ago. So they would have to use icing to like draw the Enterprise on the front and stuff. I devoured that whole flippin' cake. It was so good. The next day, I was always taught that poo was brown. That's all I want to say. I thought I was going to die. I was like, Dad! It looked like little blue missiles. And she made me tell this story, by the way. If you're sitting there going, this is horrible and gross, she's to blame. Suffice it to say, I don't eat blue cakes anymore. But since I told that story, I've had like 3 people, fans, send me emails saying, I got my mom to make me a blue cake for my birthday. And you're right, it works. I'm like, but there was no question that it worked. It wasn't a science experiment, for crying out loud. We knew this was going to happen. 30 years ago, we knew this was going to happen. Yes?
What's the weirdest thing a fan has ever given you?
Wow, somebody really likes that question down there. Pikachu or Cowdo, I can't decide. What's the weirdest thing a fan has ever given me? Well, yeah, the weirdest thing probably was they gave me an envelope. I was doing a convention in Sacramento, and I was sitting at a table just like this. And I was sitting there with Laura and Travis, and the audience was out here, and so some girl in the back right corner raised her hand. She said, I have a gift for you. Well, that happens pretty regularly, and so I'm like, oh, sweetie, you don't have to give me a gift, thank you. And she's like, can I give it to you? I'm like, sure. And she comes running up the front aisle and hands me an envelope. Well, I get about 5 envelopes per convention, like every weekend. I'll get an envelope, and we'll usually have a note, right, or a very kind letter, or maybe a piece of artwork that somebody drew. So I took it back to my room. No, I didn't. I opened it at the table. I opened it at the table, and here was this folded up letter, piece of paper, and I was like, I was going to read it, and I opened it up, and there was no writing on the paper. What there was a lock of hair. I kid you not, like a chunk, like Sharpie thickness of somebody's hair, like this long hair. And I was like, ooh, thank you? Is that the correct response? I don't even know what to say. I will clone you later. I mean, what do you say when somebody gives you their hair? And of course, Travis and Laura are sitting beside me going, so I didn't know what to do. So that was kind of a weird one. That was a weird one. Let's go over here. Wait a minute, let's ask a gentleman. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Sorry. Well, you answered my first question regarding Full Metal Fantasy. I first saw it at Anime Vegas. The question was dubbing live action versus dubbing anime.
A lot harder, actually.
And dubbing, you were speaking of Oron, dubbing the live action Oron series.
Well, I've not heard that there's going to be any dubbing of the Oron live action thing. Did you see it? Why aren't they wearing the periwinkle jackets? Why aren't they wearing the same uniforms? That's one of the most wonderful things about the show, are those beautiful uniforms they wear. They're immediately identifiable. You see that jacket, boom, you know, Oron, right? As soon as somebody sent me a link to it, and they're like, look, it's a live action Oron. I put it on, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, why are they wearing these navy blue jackets? What the world? I'd have been like, Bring on the periwinkle, baby, you know? So I thought it was a really cute idea, but it wasn't executed very well. I haven't heard of any dubbing of it. As far as live action dubbing is a lot harder than anime, and you probably can figure out why. When you dub anime, this is what the mouth does. It's either open or closed, you know what I mean? You talk when it's open, you shut up when it's closed. Live action, they're forming words, and you need to not only match the sync, but you even need to try to write a script that matches the shape of the mouth. Like if somebody says, if some guy goes, and what he said was, I don't know, but you're dubbing, and all he does is this. And the script guy wrote, don't ask me.
Don't ask me.
Well, that doesn't work. Me doesn't look like no. See what I'm saying? So you have to even work the script sometimes to make the vowels and stuff match the shape of the mouth. Live action is a lot more difficult, actually. Yes?
Are you coming back to Naruto?
Am I coming back to Naruto? Yeah, I mean, if my guy comes back, I come back. I play like 4 different guys in Naruto. I play Obito, and Nagato, and Fuen, who I thought was a girl. I don't think that's a compliment, but like for me to have been cast as him, but that's okay. And C is another character. And, oh, that's 5. And Yomi, this old guy. Did you see the Shippuden movie where this old creepy guy cracks open his chest like it's, oh my God, it's creepy. Yeah, I played him. He was fun. Because he doesn't sound like me, you know? And actors always love to do stuff a little off the beaten path, you know? You often get cast to do things that sound similar to you, your own natural voice. So it's always fun to do something that's a little different. Like the Viral thing, maybe, or Ikaku from Bleach, or Yomi was fun. So yeah, okay, I want to kind of mix it up here on you. You shady twin. You're like, tell us something weird. Yes, sir.
Oh, I didn't think I'd actually get picked. Oh my gosh.
Okay. It's like I didn't expect to get picked. Oh no, now I have to come up with a question. Oh, how are you? What's your question?
I was just saying, okay, you know Sarah from Comic-Con? The Sarah, you know, she was at your panel at Comic-Con?
Yep, I'm her. Oh my God.
Okay.
What's your question, bro? What's your name? James, it's a pleasure. Is this the one ring to rule them all right here? I love it. Oh, he's a Nazgul. Well, that explains it. What's your question?
My question is if you could sing Dragon Soul.
I'll tell you what, is audio back there? Are you guys back there running audio? Do you by any chance have an 1/8 inch jack back there that you'd plug into like an iPod or something like that? Do you? Okay, we're gonna try something. This is completely unrehearsed. This may go very badly. Okay? All right? So, we'll see how this goes. And my voice is still shot, so you're gonna have to sing along with me so that nobody can hear how bad I sound. Let's see, okay.